At that point, people are not going to want to follow a weak person. People are not going to want to follow somebody who goes, oh, I'm sorry, I disavow this guy. People are going to want to follow somebody with strength. People are going to follow somebody who's got some oomph.
Is he declaring himself as a strong man? And I don't mean that literally. I mean that in the term of like a strong man, you know, like an authoritarian leader with some chutzpah. What's going on here, Caleb? All right, I'm gonna move on to some of the other ghouls because they've been building up. Oh, how could I forget my good friend? Nice. I've been looking forward to this one for a while now. All right, so this one is called I Survived Being Cancelled by the Fake Left. You can too. We need strong socialists. And I was saying the other day, because we were watching Mildred, That Jess, Sophie, all of them basically ripping into Caleb Maupin's incredibly anti-Semitic book, Satan at the Fountainhead, the Israeli Lobby. And I was guessing he probably watched that and was upset about it. And then based on the tweet he made earlier today, talking about how everyone is an anti-Semite according to the fake synthetic left, where it's like, no, not everyone, mostly you, Caleb. But this is apparently a response video. So he's here and he's ready.
Folks, I'm out here in Brooklyn near Prospect Park.
Nice.
In that area where the fountain is, near Prospect Park.
Actually, I don't even have anything to make fun of there because I would love to visit Brooklyn right now. It sounds lovely.
If you've ever been here, it's a nice little place out here in Brooklyn. And the John Brown Volunteers are doing outreach, and I thought I might just hop on. You know, this isn't going to be a really long, complicated video. I don't have time for that. I do make a lot of content, but I just felt the need to make this video real quick. Because a lot of people have noticed that the mainstream left, the Jacobin crowd, the bread tubers, that whole milieu, they're in kind of a cancel culture frenzy. I mean, they've always been trying to...
Yes. Ben Burgess, who writes for Jacobin and has written quite a bit for them, just released a book on that very topic. And it was definitely something that I think you'd be interested in, Caleb, in terms of what you are proposing right now.
Cancel people. Always been trying to destroy people's lives and careers if they don't go along with their pro-imperialist version of socialism. Everyone's a Nazi. Everyone's a Nazbol. Everyone's a tanky.
Everyone's a Nazbol. I love this word. Okay. Again, everybody, please keep this all in perspective, okay? It's because we cover a lot of heavy stuff. We're allowed a little Caleb as a treat, okay? We're allowed to have a little fun.
Everyone's, you know, if you don't go along with Washington's latest war, you don't think socialism is just an employee stock ownership program, if you don't denounce and disavow every country the USA is getting ready to attack, if you don't...
He really hates worker cooperatives. Like, not hates them as in the concept of them or anything. He just hates the fact that there's advocacy for worker cooperatives coming from what he calls breadtube or the synthetic left. And it's frequently like, you know, what do you want to do? Start a bakery with a couple friends, start a worker co-op, suddenly you have communism, you've done communism. I don't think so.
Cut off.
Whereas again, strawmen, like no one is proposing that. No one is proposing that. We're saying they're better than the current systems we have now.
Disassociate from anyone who doesn't 100% agree with, you know, their platform on whatever issue it is. You're a bad person. They've been doing this for a while. Nothing particularly new about it. What is new is it seems like now that Biden is in office, they're winding it down. You know, the DSA, BreadTube, Jacobin, they don't really have a reason to exist anymore, right? These are wings of the establishment that put out a socialist-sounding message that is safe and is, you know, comfortable for the leaders, and then they police the rest of the movement. And I think right now, because Biden is in and the Trump...
Wait, so BreadTube, the DSA have nothing to do anymore because Biden's in power? Are you kidding me? Like, this was one of the problems, and he's like, Caleb's his own thing. I can't really put Caleb into the whole like Jimmy Dore, Max Blumenthal ecosystem. He overlaps with them. He's certainly one of the RT. He's paid by RT. He's like a regular reporter for them. That's probably what pays the majority of his salary. Then he does a handful of other things, sells some literature. You know, there's a combination of that. There's definitely some overlap, but he's not in that direct, unique. Like, I've never seen. Has he been on Jimmy Dore? If so, I stand corrected. I stand corrected. But in terms of his ability to criticize us, now it's going to be that apparently the synthetic left, the fake left, the imperialist left, the ones who are totally pro-war, pro-US war, we are irrelevant now. And because we're irrelevant, we will cease to exist because everyone's already in power. You have to remember, it's the same person who also said that we're all powerful because we're funded either by the CIA or some other dark money. And because of that, we've had multiple attempts in council meetings to try and assassinate Caleb Maupin in Roblox. Don't forget, we're all and nothing at the same time.
The Trump movement is defeated and down for the count. They're trying to prove their relevancy. You know, they're trying to argue that basically they're still relevant. They're not irrelevant. They still have a reason to exist. And that reason to exist is that they're going to purge, you know, they're going to go after Jimmy Dore, and they're going to go after...
Oh my, he's going to hit all of them. All right, well, maybe I do stand corrected. Maybe he is now closer into the inner circle than we thought before. So here it is.
Convo couch, and they're going to go after anybody, you know, anyone
I know
who
he's been on
supports
Convo
Tulsi
Couch.
Gabbard, or anybody who, you know, doesn't support overthrowing the Cuban government, or doesn't support overthrowing the government of Venezuela, or the government of Syria, or the government of Iran. And they're trying...
I would say, like, disagree, or sorry, agree, disagree, agree. Like, I don't think any leftist wants to overthrow the government of Iran. We don't want the U.S. to meddle in their affairs. We also don't want the U.S. to meddle in Syrian affairs. So I guess, yeah, disagree all around. I would prefer if Bashar al-Assad wasn't a horrifying monster who was attacking his own people, especially because they were democratically rising up against him during the Arab Spring. So that is horrifying, but at the same time, no. I do not want the U.S. to be an arbiter of what should take place in any other country. And then I say that as a non-U.S. citizen. I don't think Canada should do that either. I don't think countries should do that.
Trying to prove to the establishment they still have some value. And, you know, the whole thing with Anna Kasparian and Aaron Mate and that whole thing, again, they really don't have a reason to exist right now.
Wow. He's throwing himself into all the drama, just right into the center of it. He always was in the center of all this, you know. All signs point to Caleb.
So they're struggling. They're struggling to prove that they're still relevant to the powers that be by ultra ramping up their role of, you know, smearing and trying to destroy people's lives. And so that's why I wanted to just quickly make this video. I'm sorry, I'm rambling.
Full of Fred, thank you.
Trying to get to the point, which is that I've been canceled. I've been canceled, and I'm still here. And you will be too. You know, I started making videos, and, you know...
It's almost like it's not really a thing. Just not in the way that, like, you know, conservatives and Maupin speak about it. You know, cancel culture as if, like, well, a whole bunch of people are outraged on the internet, and people who already have a platform are just going to lose that platform effectively. It's going to be one than the other. Or Mr. Potato Head is going to cease to exist. Dr. Seuss is not allowed to publish their own literature, their own books anymore. All of this is deeply problematic. Is he unironically a Jimmy Dore stan? I'm not sure what's going on here. This could be a new play. This could be... Because he did have the best-selling book on BreadTube, even though they're irrelevant, and don't think about them because they don't matter. But I am going to write an entire book about them. And then after that, now he could be finding himself a new angle. Interesting. I'm here for this. I'm here for this. I would like to see him on the Jimmy Dore show.
Immediately, people decided that because I spoke with a respected Russian anti-imperialist intellectual who has his own perspective that I don't agree with. Oh my God, he's a Nazbol.
Say his name, please. Come on, Caleb.
No, I talked to somebody who used to be part of the Nazbol party and now runs the Eurasian movement. And people decided that, you know, because I interviewed somebody who has a position on the transgender issue, that I must be...
Oh, wow. He's doing all the lore. He's doing all the lore. Okay, so he's not going to say Alexander Dugin by name. I will, I guess, in his stead. There you are. And the next one was, yes, the viral clip about how we were talking about how it's trans ideology. Remember, everybody, trans ideology. Wow. So he's playing all the classics. Is he finally going to say my name? Or is it just going to be Skippy the Bear until the end of time?
Be an evil transphobe. Well, no, I work with a lot of trans people. I've always been sympathetic to the trans community and what they go through. I don't know very much about it, and I don't want to know because I view it as a human rights issue. I have a...
What is wrong with you? Just right there. That you just did it again. Why? I don't know very much about it, and I don't want to know. So, checkmate. DreadTube. How about, before you interview people who clearly are a little bit transphobic, or you want to talk about these issues, or even, I don't know, feign an apology on any of this, you learn about it. Like just do a modicum of research. I don't think, because you do have a platform, I mean, and an even larger one, when you go on RT, like it's a very large network. So you do have a voice. You don't have to keep saying, I don't know and I don't want to know. But I do have trans friends, and I do work with trans people. So clearly, ally, end of the issue. It's a human rights issue. That's all. I just don't want to know anything else beyond that.
A lot of love for my trans friends. I don't want anyone to harm them. But other than that, when it comes to what gender means and what it is, I don't know, you know, and I respect them, and I want them to be respected. I want them to be who they are and have the right to be who they are and not have anybody mess with them. But other than that, I just don't get into it, you know.
Yeah, we can use that.
And
thank you.
Folks, these people, you will never please them. So that's the first thing you need to get through your head, is that when they come for you and they start with the red, brown, Nazbol stuff, you will never please them. No matter what you do, does not matter. You're a secret Nazi. You
haven't done anything, though. This is the first time I've actually heard you, like, out... No, thank you so much.
I just had a conversation with my co-workers that I joined after hearing them complain about pronouns in shoals.
In shoals? I think it meant to be schools, but it was probably the robot got mixed up. But by the way, this blew out of proportion. It was like, and I'm partly to blame about all that. We went on Caleb Maupin for a long time. The thing is with Thought Slime 2, he made that video about Thought Slime, so they kind of went back and forth, and there was that whole thing. So, I mean, the Borger Kang, we're weak. There was just too many memes.
red, brown. No matter what. No matter what. You know, you could go out and say the sky is blue, and they'll tweet out, like, you know, that blue, everyone knows blue is a code word for white supremacist groups. There was a white supremacist group in France in 1940.
What are you talking about? You were using the most basic dog whistles. Like, just bottom tier. The ones that everybody knows, okay? Evil, satanic cabal, systems of usury. All of those, like... That's 101. It's not 302. It's not dog whistles 302. That's 101. Those are those are some of the first ones. The original dog whistles.
42 that used blue as its code sign. These people are idiots, and you'll never please them. And when you fall into that trap of trying to please them, you're only making it worse.
Old Winston. It's really
because
old.
The more you fall into the trap of trying to please them, the more you look weak and pathetic. And at the end of the day, when stuff gets real, all right, now, you know, we're talking on the internet and all of that, but as the capitalist crisis continues, people are going to want real organizations. People are going to want real leaders who can really get things done. And when things get real, at that point, people are not going to want to follow a weak person. People are not going to want to follow somebody who goes, oh, I'm sorry, I disavow this guy. People are going to want to follow someone with strength. People are going to follow somebody who's got some oomph.
Is he declaring himself as a strong man? And I don't mean that literally. I mean that in the term of, like, a strong man, you know, like an authoritarian leader with some chutzpah. What's going on here, Caleb? Interesting. Well, y'all were joking about Caleb 2024. I remember seeing that not too long ago. Y'all were doing that Caleb 2024 shit. Maybe you weren't that far off. All right.
videos and the smears and the lies, if you can withstand it, people will respect you. I gotta tell you, I don't know how many people that I've met in the last year who had never heard of me until these people started attacking me. And then they watched my content and they said, wow, that's just a pack of lies. You know, Caleb's anti-racist. Caleb's anti-imperialist. Caleb is one of the smartest, well-informed people about Marxism I've ever heard. People love my lectures and all of that. And people see right through it. And when it gets down to it, you have to keep in mind that at the end of the day, the DSA, Jacobin, bread tube crowd are the best friends that real Nazis ever had. Because if everyone's a Nazi, if people are married to non-white people, but they're still Nazis, if people have spent their life fighting racism...
You are doing all the Steven Crowder defenses right now. You're like, I can't be transphobic, I have a trans friend. People can't be racist because they have interracial marriages. What the fuck are you doing right now? That doesn't defend you from any of the accusations that have been... You couldn't even say his name. You couldn't even say Alexander Dugin. I mean, at least you went as far as being like, he used to be involved in the National Bolshevist Party. He's one of the founding members. Could have done that. And that's not the only reason it was dissolved.
And opposing police brutality, and they're still Nazis. If everyone's a Nazi because they disagree...
Steven Crowder has said that exact thing. He's like, oh, is this a white supremacist? Is this? How can we know? What even is a white supremacist anymore? It's ubiquitous. And we keep using it. I mean, Tucker Carlson does that too. Does the exact same, like, is there any way that we can ever, like, you know, everything's a dog whistle apparently to Caleb Maupin. You know, if you say the sky is blue, they're gonna pull up some rare reference to some you know, this and that. I'm like, no, you were using dog whistles, like the dog whistles, the original ones, the OG dog whistles.
Agree with one position, or they talk to somebody or whatever. Pretty soon nobody's a Nazi. You gotta think about that. So my advice is if they come after you, you know, don't be weak. Don't be pathetic. We worship weakness on the left. We got to get over that.
Don't be weak. Don't be pathetic. Be strong. Be strong. Strong men of strong character. I will need you for the upcoming wars. The sugar wars are coming, my children.
You know, you can be strong. You can be a strong socialist. Don't be over-socialized. Consider it a badge of honor when they come after you. Stand your ground, and you will come out of this stronger than ever. Don't be weak. Don't be cowardly. Don't be pathetic. When they come for you, when they start trying to destroy your life and spreading fake rumors and reinterpreting everything, first of all, there's nothing you can do to please these people. Nothing, right? No matter what you do, they will make something up. And two, you'll come out of this better. Because when people see you stand your ground, they'll respect you. So yeah. I'm still here. They can make up.
I mean, it's very, very rigid and conservative. You know, I am unchanging. I don't want to go along with the times. Overton windows say what? No, not for me. I would prefer to be stalwart in my beliefs at all times. Interesting, Caleb.
Whatever horse garbage they want, I'm still here.
I've done a lot of research, and Eurasianism doesn't sound much of an improvement from the OG Nazbol. Well, let us not forget, by the way, Lawrence Southern also interviewed Alexander Dugin. Yes, the Lawrence Southern. And in that interview, you can hear him talk about the Eurasian movement, and I agree. There's times when I'm like, yeah, that's pretty fucking sus. That's pretty fucking sus. Yeah.
I believe in this stuff. These people don't. At the end of the day, most of these internet people, they don't really believe in this. They don't really believe in this stuff. You can tell that. You know, they call up Ben Burgess and he tells them, you know, what Marx said. They haven't read Marx.
Why does he hate Ben Burgess so much? Okay, his hatred of Ben Burgess, okay, is in relation to how, like, long me and Thoughtslime were obsessed with him. Okay, it was too long. We made too many videos. We had too much fun. We were laughing too much. Completely fair. Completely fair. You should not be doing 2 or 3 videos on the same person if they've only made one funny Burger King, okay? But Ben Burgess, all Ben Burgess did was reply to one of his tweets. That's it. And it wasn't even a mean thing. It was just like a question. It was just like, well, are you sure about that, Caleb? Have you ever thought to consider blank? Like, that's all it was. And ever since then, it was like, always knew you were a CIA op, deep part of the Jacobin pipeline right here, exposed. As we can all see, Ben Burgess is part of the inner circle of BreadTube. He has tried multiple times to have me assassinated in Roblox, all this kind of stuff. And you're like, what is going on, Caleb? But he's not wrong. None of us have read Marx. And then every now and then, once a week on Sundays, Ben Burgess gives us our daily bread, similar to how the Catholics do. And we all consume Marx, and then he lives inside us for another week. And then we can posture. That's how we continue the LARPing.
You know, they Google and they get on Wikipedia and they read about this stuff. They don't really believe this. They don't really believe this stuff. They're good at the high school drama part, the gossip and all of that. At the end of the day, they don't really believe in this stuff. Well, I do, and you do. And if you stick around and you endure this, people are going to respect you. So that's all I got to say. Just wanted to make a quick video because it needs to be said. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Caleb. 10 out of 10 would do again. Do you want movies and Serfs watching the movies? So then come over to the new channels. It's the Serfs Cinema. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Can you do the thing, you know, that thumbs up and comment and all those things that help us out in the algorithm that controls every aspect of our lives? Also, if you happen to have a Facebook account, can you delete it? Like, just delete it. You should probably delete your Facebook account because it's not a great company. But hey, if you can't do that for whatever reason, I understand. And could you also go to facebook.com/thesurftimes then and give us a little like and a follow. We're just trying to push back against the fact that people like Ben Shapiro happen to dominate the platform entirely. And when everyone asks why do older generations believe the things they believe, one of the problems is the majority of them on social media use Facebook. So to counter that, we're just going to be on there too now. Also, if you happen to have a union or a worker co-op or even a leftist project, podcast, website, Zoom, MySpace, it doesn't matter. We will advertise it for free on this channel. All you got to do is go to weareserfs.com and use the forms that we got there, weareserfs.com. Thanks, everybody.
To our gods, Tigro and Payton El Jus, we pray to you, our sky daddies, to keep us safe from harm. To our monarchs, Tom Spiker and the Tim Caucus, we shall humbly clean your golden toilets in your spatial palaces. To our lords, Ultra Wolf, Evan Nudie, Trevor R., Alexander Thaler, Ryan Lubin, and Jeff Lamb, we are eternally grateful for this small segment of land for us to toil and work. To our knights, Ariane McCarthy, Daniel Sutton, Ants Are Still Running the World, Coulter Smith, Val 9000, Jenna Tall, Dark Puppy, Quiet One 85, Anna Loves Riley, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, Multimondi, Trevor Janis, Lemmy 101, Anthropophojak, Saren 42, Chronic to Hemphog, Catherine, Bone Jenny, Radical Maniac, Ramona Costa, Jimmy Bignuts, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Political Puppy, Andreas Chiringuito, Zach Christensen, Jopi, Josh Mickelson, Todd Buckingham, and Todd Lajeunesse. We raise our glasses, we raise our swords, and we salute you, our friends. And to Lance, you are the wind beneath my wings.